shall have...
Here we go. We're live.
And we are live. And let's see when it shows up on the screen, which should be just a couple of seconds. There's about a 20-second delay.
Is there?
From when we actually talk to when things actually
happen.
So we shall wait and see here momentarily. It's taking a little longer than it should.
Refresh.
All right, let's do that. So we will hit the refresh button and be all refreshed. And then...
And there's your little button.
There's my little button. And we should be recording live.
And there we are.
All right. Excellent. So.
Really?
Ah!
That's where you stop me?
You ever see Starsky and Hutch? Starsky and Hutch always had the last scene of the show where whatever they're doing, it's suddenly freeze frame.
Yeah.
And they would do that every show. Well, when we have the website up, because it adds more bandwidth to it, we turn off and pause the video part that you see on the screen.
He's got me going like this.
And she's doing one of these numbers. And it's always funny to see what expression, because a lot of times it looks like she's passing gas or constipated or some weird thing going on. And so,
That's
yeah, today she's just doing one of these like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this. So
well, that could reasonably be so.
That's how it is. So, hey, welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast patron pre-show. And you're excused.
I Miss Burps a lot over here.
Yes, Miss Burps a lot. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. So let me get your...
Or I've got the hiccups, one of the two.
That happens. That always makes for good podcasts. And this is what I said last time I... All right, there we go. Show notes, we're up. So yeah, it's cool stuff. We got a lot of cool things going on.
Excuse me.
Man, I haven't even... My coffee is right here in front of me.
Yes. Don't drink it because you're going to go on.
And wife Amy is having issues.
Yeah, it's almost my bedtime.
Is it? Yeah.
It's going to be bad when I start working at night again.
Yes.
Because I'll be like, it's 9 o'clock. It's my bedtime.
You're not used to that because she works a second job at the local hardware store where I also work at the moment till I get my IT job. And she hasn't been working there because of, I don't know, a little appendicitis.
Yeah, and they won't let me work more than 4 hours on the weekends.
Right, which they're just changing now.
Yeah, but still I got one Friday night and then a Saturday.
Yes.
Really?
So
and that's it.
I'm trying to look up some of the stuff that they... If you haven't noticed...
You let me to type?
Just put Sheldon and Big Bang show. And let's see what comes up. And if you haven't noticed, there it is. There it is. All right. So,
oh my gosh, he does.
So basically what happens is there is a lot of, and it's early. This is May. And they're already broadcasting the shows that are coming out on the major networks like Fox and CBS and the rest of them. And the new shows are being advertised. So they're putting them out on YouTube for everybody to take a look at. And it's interesting because if you like the Big Bang Theory, that's been on for what, a decade now? Hard to believe.
Long time, yeah.
It's been out for quite a few years. One of the lead characters is Sheldon. And Sheldon is a brainiac. And he's got one of the funniest comedic straight man roles of anybody that I know. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. So anyways, with the Big Bang Theory, they have made a show, a spinoff of Sheldon when he's like 8.
Yeah, young Sheldon.
And it's the family life that he had back in Texas, like redneck Texas.
A genius in a redneck world.
Right. And so it shows him what his family life was like. He's already at one of the things that they had in the preview. And if you get a chance, just put Big Bang Theory spinoff Young Sheldon for YouTube, you'll see this preview. And basically what ends up happening is he has already bypassed his sister who was like a year older than her, bypassed her grade, and is now in the same grade in high school as his older brother. And it's funny as heck. So he is now going from an elementary school right into modern day high school.
And the scary thing is, the scariest part of all of this is he looks just like our nephew Grayson.
The second I saw it, now Grayson's 5, 6,
He's
12.
5.
Okay.
Don't age him anymore.
He's 5 right now.
Oh, he will
And
be
if he was 8, he would be young Sheldon of the show.
Heck
The
yeah.
same facial features.
He's got blonde hair, but
a little of the face is, lengthened a little bit, and he looks just like him. But he's wearing the 1970s plaid shirts with a bow tie and the whole shot, the Bill Nye look. And so, yeah, it looks like to be a very, very funny show.
Yeah.
But Amy, I guess, didn't, I wanted her to see that he was actually, does look a lot
That
like
is
him.
Scary how much he looks like Grayson.
Yeah, it's funny.
Except that kid has dark hair and Grayson's got blonde.
Well, I mean, you can't be perfect, but it's like, Sheldon's got dark hair.
That's the only thing that's different, though.
Yes.
Just about.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
that's crazy.
It's amazing how close it is for it. Other shows coming on.
Your favorite.
What? Well, not this one. It is Star Trek, the new series coming out on Fox. Is it Fox or CBS?
You said it was Fox.
No, the other one's Fox. It's CBS. Now, the problem with CBS is it's not actually coming out on TV. It is coming out.
Are you still talking about this one?
No, we're talking about the new Star Trek Discovery.
Okay. I thought you said that one was Fox.
No, it's the other one we're going to talk about. I'm saving the best for last.
Okay.
She's not into things. Anyways, the new Star Trek movie coming out on CBS All Access, which means you have to pay money to get it so that you can see it on the computer.
Oh, no, friend.
Yeah. Which I will not be doing.
No.
And there's a really good reason because I saw no, dear.
I'm just kidding.
You may think that I think that's what it is, but I'm just saying.
No, I don't do that.
But the premise of the new Star Trek is driving me insane, and I can't wait when some of the gang starts showing up in the next few minutes in the chat room to talk more about it. The new Star Trek Discovery is supposed to be 10 years before Kirk and Spock in the Enterprise.
Really?
10 years before. Now, if that sounds slightly familiar, if you saw the TV series Enterprise with Scott Baio, not Scott Baio, who's the guy that did, okay, I'm going to have to look it up. Scott Curry, what is his name? Now I'm going to have to look it up. Look up Star Trek Enterprise Captain. Scott Bakula.
Oh, okay.
All right. That was the same time period. Was supposed to be the Enterprise before Captain Kirk took over. So just before Christopher Pike and all the rest of that stuff. So it's the same time period as a series they have already done that did That's one thing everybody's upset about, because technically the ship is Discovery, so it's not even the Enterprise. So yeah, Spock technically was already on the Enterprise for like 7 years during this time period. So Spock's already in the flow of the show without him actually being in the series. If people are going crazy, the Klingons, when producers take over a thought and they say, that's really good, but why don't we do this? That's what they're doing with the show. The Klingons have if you've seen the new movies, the latest movies that are out, the Klingons are really kind of different than back in the TOS days where Klingons were basically dudes with dirty faces. That's what the time period was back in the original Star Trek series. They've got these Klingons that don't even look Klingon. They've just got this weird, funky, it's not even the bones coming out of the top of the head. It's bad. I'm just saying it's bad. So if you look at the comments for Star Trek Discovery, they're all bad. Everybody's like, you got to be freaking kidding me. And I swear, I could definitely be wrong because I've been known to be that way. Just saying that.
Dude,
So the
I'm not saying a word.
so it's one of those things that I read
my mic off.
back when they were first talking about coming out with the new Star Trek series. They were talking about doing it like past when Next Generation ended, like 30, 40 years past Next Generation. So it was supposed to be in the future, which is where they should be heading. Out. That's the reason why we like that, is because you have so many other possibilities. Discovery is back to 10 years supposedly before Kirk and Spock, which means it's the Klingons again. And going with that. So the reviews have not been positive just on the preview. And I mean, there's thousands of reviews.
Yeah, because you Trekkie people are crazy.
We are. We love it. We are Star Trek. And I'm going to open a kettle of worms here.
It's canned, but whatever.
It's you drink what you want to drink. If you go between different genres and series that are in sci-fi, Trekkies above all love their canon, and they love knowing every fact of how it is. And if you change a minutia of the canon, they go ape nuts. And this is blowing it right out of the water. Now, she's about as interested in this as watching, speaking of the can of worms, she would rather watch that.
Paint dry.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So, yeah, so very, very mixed review or bad review for Star Trek Discovery. Literally just came out. And the reason I think that CBS put the promo out for Star Trek is because earlier in the week, and this will also show you the thing that I run into with a certain person. Wake up. I went to Amy and said, hey, did you hear about the latest Seth MacFarlane series that's coming out? And she went, who? Seth freaking MacFarlane. No,
that's Seth freaking Rollins.
The movie,
him I know.
The movie Ted, Family Guy, a zillion comedic voices for everything. Dunk, nothing. I'm like, all right, fine. There is supposedly coming out from Fox this fall a movie or a series called out The Orville. And
I gotta admit, that was pretty funny.
Yes. And the preview of The Orville, which is a complete, if you ever saw the movie Galaxy Quest, you're going to get it. If you saw, it's a spoof on Star Trek, a spoof on a very close Star Trek. It's Family Guy with Star Trek. It's Galaxy Quest on steroids. Funny as heck. That one I'm looking forward to. That one was just plain freaking hilarious.
That was funny.
And if you look on YouTube, when they sent out the preview for it, every comment, and I mean, there were thousands, every comment out there, one of the crew making the Orville made comments back. Thanks for this. Let us know feedback, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
They were right there in on it. CBS, nothing. So, anywho, yes, never give up, never surrender. Absolutely. Funny as heck. If you haven't already, check out the Orville from Seth MacFarlane on YouTube. Check out the Big Bang Theory with young Sheldon. That is going to be a riot. And then you'll know what our nephew looks like.
With dark hair.
With dark hair and a couple of years older.
Yeah. Oh, that's scary.
It's very scary, but good stuff. It's interesting to see how much that they're already advertising.
I wonder how his little Meet the Teacher went.
Oh, Jason, Grayson had the meet the teacher. Yeah,
for
we're
kindergarten.
aunt and uncle. What can I say? We're into that. So yeah, he's going into kindergarten this year. Lord help him. So
I'm
yeah,
telling you, that boy Henry's getting there. Me and Henry go. I'm gonna have to parent Henry.
Henry is Grayson's nemesis.
He picks on Grayson.
He picks on Grayson, and Grayson and Uncle Andy are going to have a little show and tell discussion on
and
how
me
to
and
do
Henry gonna have a
do
talk.
a right cross, and how to block and duck.
And I say, let me tell you something, Henry.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things, and Aunt Amy will come in and scare the crap out of him. So, anyways, that's how it works. Let's see other stuff.
And then we'll take him for ice cream.
Yeah. Who, Henry?
No.
Oh,
Henry, get his own ice cream. His daddy's a fireman. He can get it.
There you go. Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
I got to find out where Henry's dad works.
We're gonna have words.
Like, let me tell you something about your son.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Let him pick on him one more time.
Yep. So let's see. Next week,
Southern coming out.
Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to do it this year. Like, I've gone to every Geo Woodstock. This would have been my fourth one that I do every 2 years.
And that's how it started, Your Honor.
And that's how it started. And we're just not going to be able to make it.
You got that.
Yeah. So we're not, unfortunately not going to be able to make it this year to Geo Woodstock, even though it is 4 hours away. It's just too much.
Yep.
We're just can't do it.
Can't do it.
So we look
Things
forward to everybody.
Life happens.
Yes, and we hope everybody has a great time. We're gonna miss them, but yeah, we
a lot.
A lot.
Maybe we'll get you on a even year.
We probably that's gonna throw my whole schedule.
No, because then it's gonna be on the other side next year.
Maybe not. We'll have to see. We'll find out the end of Geo Woodstock on that Saturday. Yeah. But that's next week.
Hopefully somebody will text us.
Oh, that'll be all over Facebook and what have you, where it's going to be. And maybe we'll be
we won't be in Europe.
Now, I would love
to say I was going to be in Europe.
Be in Europe. Actually, I want to go to a Giga. That's on my bucket list, is to go to a Giga. We got to go to
Germany for that.
And we got to go to Germany and drink beer, just saying, and have a good time geocaching.
Yeah.
Beer. They got it right.
I don't care about the
when
beer.
When you got 72 different countries showing up for a Giga event, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But yeah. So, we don't want to miss it, but it's just how it is. And we hope everybody has fun at Geo Woodstock. Now,
we know they will.
Because I think Moga's already done.
Yep.
We've got the Midwest Cache Bash in August, I think it is.
And going caching is.
And then going caching is October.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to at least hit a couple of megas this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
See where we're at.
So yeah, all part of the fun. I don't know about you, but I think weather is definitely been a little screwy the past week. You're either freezing.
No, it's just hot.
Or burning up.
Well, it depends on if I'm at work or not. Because if I'm at work inside, then I'm freezing to death and have a sweater on.
They got the air conditioner so high you can see frost.
And then the guys walk in, they go, "Oh my God, it feels so good in here." I'm like, okay, that's a matter of perspective. And but then you walk outside, I defrost and eventually get hot.
You're always hot, baby. I'm just saying.
I see.
Wow. So yeah, it's that's how it is. And it's interesting how like in Wichita, go figure, they had tornadoes yesterday.
Arkansas has tornadoes today. I got an alert on my watch.
Did you? For Arkansas?
I'm like, I don't live in Arkansas.
Everybody died.
Oklahoma. I'm like, geez.
And then
where do you think I'm at?
Memphis Mafia sent us a picture with 12 inches of snow.
Yes.
So I'm just saying.
I saw it on Christie's page.
It's really nuts all over the place. So be careful out there. The weather storms, bad deluges and stuff can really catch you if you're out in the wilderness someplace and you don't know it's coming. So just kind of keep it safe out there when you're going out geocaching, because it can creep on you quick.
Yep.
So yeah, but I mean,
but you're in Nova Scotia, first warm day they've had.
Well, that's actually that's it. Even in Michigan, mid to northern Michigan yesterday or day before. It
Was
was
in the
literally
30s.
38 degrees.
And that was warm for them.
And they were in mid Michigan today. Did one of your friends say it was like almost 90?
She said that the other day. She's in Saginaw.
Uh-huh.
She said, it's almost 90 here. It's hot. I'm like,
yeah,
almost 90?
Yes.
Try 91.
Yeah. Here it's like.
And that's just getting started.
Yeah. See, I literally, I went into a restaurant today just to pick up a quick hot dog and for lunch. And
you went to Snoopy's?
Yes. You don't go there, so I got to go when I can. Just saying.
I know.
So yes, it's bipolar weather everywhere. And she was like, man, it is so hot out there. I can't stand it. And I said, now look outside and tell me what you see. She said, what do you mean? What do you actually see? She says, well, I see the bushes moving. I said, yes, there is wind.
It's not summer yet.
It is not summer yet.
There's still a breeze.
There is still wind out there. When it is 95 degrees, 98% humidity, and no breeze, then you're in North Carolina.
Yep.
So, wow, good stuff. I mean, I'm just saying, really, really good stuff. But yeah, that's all part of the fun.
Yep.
And that definitely affects geocaching. It is hard for, God bless Dave DeBear. He's a Canadian, so I give him his space because he's Canadian. He will go out in his shorts and it's like 45 degrees out.
He's Canadian.
And he will go out and just geocache like there's no tomorrow. It could be pouring rain, it could be deluge, it could be anything, and he will go out there and
do his thing.
I give him all the credit in the world because since I have come and I'm like in year number 9 here in North Carolina from Michigan, I have become such a cat young person that if you can't figure that out, that's all for yourself. But it's one of those things where I'm not as bad as you.
I've lived here my whole life.
There's a 6-degree barrier that she has between 70 and 76.
And I'm getting worse.
And that's, yes. Me, if it's in the mid 80s, all right, I'll go. If it's in the upper 80s, kind of pushing it. If it's in the 90s, oh, heck no.
See, upper 80s is close to 90. And I'm not doing that.
Now, on the other way,
there's probably humidity involved.
Yes.
And I'm just not okay with that.
By the time it's cooled down, anything below the 80s, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm fine in the 70s.
And if it gets down to like the temperature for people in most of North Carolina, if it gets below 60, it's usually parka weather. For me, it's usually hoodie. That I'll do that. It has to get cold before I put on a coat. But so I can go geocaching all I want because you're walking and you're doing stuff and
you're warming up and stuff.
And you're going with that. But the heat.
Oh yeah, you can't do anything with.
Yeah, and like I said, it's close. Somebody's that close to throwing the switch on summer.
And I've seen too many people with heat stroke and heat exhaustion.
Yeah, when we go to an event,
like,
how many times have we had water that we brought extra that we had to give because of people?
I am not trying to pass out and stop sweating.
Like Cloak and Dagger said, usually it doesn't.
Poison ivy.
Yeah, chiggers are required or poison ivy.
Chiggers are
the worst.
The devil.
Yeah,
they are devil created.
We are literally in the buckle in
we were talking about that earlier.
Tick belt.
Ticks, chiggers, poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, snakes. Spiders,
like how you put it, it's the United States version of Australia
where everything's trying to kill you.
Everything's trying to kill you.
Yeah. I'm like, nope, I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah, chiggers are. We had a bad case last year. We went out for, wasn't it one of the souvenirs or something? And we just went to one stop.
I tried to block it out of my mind.
We went to one stop. I don't even think we had no, it wasn't like we went in flip-flops. We had regular shoes and socks and pants on. Matter of fact, you had long pants on. And we stopped. I did a Periscope session with Amy. We were there for maybe.
No, that was fire ants.
Well, that's down in South Carolina. But when we actually went to the woods last year in that. Then about 2 days later, both our legs lit up like Christmas lights with chigger bites. And those last for weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that the ticks are bad again this year. I had one person write on Facebook yesterday that he was basically going to the bathroom, and he said he found a tick where no man should ever find a tick. And yeah, so you got to be careful. Those buddies will they're there to have a party in your pants. I'm just saying.
They really are.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Yeah, not in a good way. So I'm just saying, be careful. Wear a lot of DEET.
Adam says his cologne of choice this summer is Deep Woods Off.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, we were talking about Michigan earlier today, and Michigan doesn't have all the poisonous snakes. They don't have all the stuff, depending on where you go and what part of the state. Basically, you can walk in chest-high weeds in Michigan and not have a problem.
I'm like, so when are we moving? Because really.
But it's it's just one of those things that you got to be careful. The thing in Michigan, you do have to wear Deep Woods Off, but it's not for the chiggers or the ticks or anything.
Freaking mosquitoes.
It's the small bird-sized mosquitoes that are there.
Itch. Oh my God.
We have
this whole conversation.
We have a regular mosquito, your standard brown mosquito. That's nothing.
And then you hear the ones that are coming at you.
If you hear one that sounds like a yellow jacket that comes through, they call them zebra mosquitoes, and basically they're black with white stripes.
They're huge.
And they're huge. And basically, if they're hungry enough, they will just pick you up and take you someplace to feed.
Because when we were up there, what were we even up there for? Oh, it was July 4th one year.
We were in Hell.
And we were in Hell, Michigan.
Yep.
And Geocache. Got a Geocache. And these mosquitoes just started coming out. I'm like, what is this? He goes, a mosquito. I'm like, no, that is not a mosquito. That is a small bird.
Yes, like Cloak and Dagger said, they sound like a squad of helicopters. They really do. It sounds like those B-52Bs that come by. I
said, I'm done with this.
Let's it was great. So you just wear off. I mean, that's all it is.
I didn't have any.
Yeah, well, that's an issue.
And they probably smelled me coming into Michigan at the time.
Yeah, it's like, hey, dinner.
They love me.
Yes. And everything, and you have to admit, now down here in North Carolina, everything's green. It just is.
Yes.
In Michigan, in the summer, everything is green.
Mm-hmm.
And we were up in the woodsy area, and literally.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. But that's the only thing you got to worry about, really.
Yes, it's freaking mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
So that's all part of the fun.
And persistent.
Yes, they will not go away. You will swat them, they'll shake it off and look at you, flip you off, and then go back.
Yes, they are terrible.
So it's one of those things. It's just how it is. I mean, it's like the bugs down in Florida. They get hungry, they just shake the refrigerator till something falls out.
Yeah.
Michigan, they just pick you up and carry you somewhere. It's like, there goes Will. Bye, Will.
that birds.
Bye, Will. That's not his name. Yeah. All right. Whatever. All right. Good stuff. It is.
I've watched way too much TV.
Way too much TV. It is 8:30. And if you notice, we have our bottom thirds and our overlays.
Yeah. And
back.
why is your picture the only one there?
Because it's only goes by the Google, whoever the person that started the session for Google. I have no control because you can see up here, there's no way to add a logo yet. I give the Google gods a thank you for actually bringing back the Hangout toolbox, but there's some things they need to add to it so that they can put that. That's the only reason. I have no control over it. You should see Sarah on Geocaching Podcast.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't have a profile picture, so it has that blue circle with the silhouette for hers.
Get a picture of Sarah.
I'm just saying, she's got to get one. All right, it is time to go. We do have our overlays back. Yay. So that's good. So here we go. Sit back, relax. And yet she snickers. Sit back and relax. Get your favorite libation, your favorite snack. Snicker if you want to.
Uh-huh.
The GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is coming at you right about now. Or now. Or now.
Push the button.
Hello, and welcome. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm your host, Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and I am here with the wonderful, the delightful, the DeWitty wife, Amy. Say hi.
Hi.
Now, how did it go before I blow it? Because we were doing now. When will now be now? And the answer back is soon. What movie did that come out of?
I don't know.
Well, you're such a movie connoisseur when it comes to sci-fi and such.
Really? You asked me about a sci-fi
Have
movie?
you ever?
Are you kidding?
Have you ever seen the movie Spaceballs?
No.
See? We were talking about the new spoof for Star Trek coming out from Fox this year called The Orville, and it's a Seth MacFarlane. And I was so geeked because I was such a big Seth MacFarlane fan that I go to Amy, I said, hey, new Seth MacFarlane film. And she went, who? So it's like, So I'm just saying, this is the world I live in. Though it's exciting because everything's new to her, which is all part of the fun. So anyways, hey, welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast.
My favorite movies are stuff like Singing in the Rain and Disney movies.
Or American Pickers.
I love that show.
My God.
I love that show.
I love knickknacks just like anybody else, but
that's not knickknacks, man. That's history.
She just binges on that.
I do. I could watch it all day.
Yeah. See, for older folks like myself, you're getting older when the only movie channels you watch are like the Weather Channel, the History Channel, that kind of thing.
I'm getting there.
But she's at least at Discovery. And going
yeah,
that
I
way.
am. And I only watch like a few channels because the rest of it's just kind of stupid to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, American Pickers. I love that show.
Yeah. Did I mention it's May 18th, 2017? Because that's what it is. And we're recording live from the GeoSnippets studios. Lots of stuff going on. Today is going to be interesting. If you're listening to us on our podcast, instead of watching us in the video, we're going to describe things as much as we absolutely can, but this is very much a show and tell video type episode. So there's lots of stuff. We'll discuss everything. You're going to love it. But if you get a chance, go back and see GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast 202 about geocache sizes. We're going back and doing some geocaching basics. And lots of show and tell stuff. And I'm really excited about that. Matter of fact, I'm going to finish my coffee here so I can put the stuff out of the way because we got so many things to show tonight.
Uncle Casher's here.
Oh, hey, Uncle Casher. How you doing?
For the first time.
Very good. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And welcome to everybody else in the chat room. We've got a world-famous chat room. We've got geocachers from around the world that come by and say hi. Sometimes they say for the whole show, sometimes they say just for a little bit, whatever works, but they always manage to come in and give their 2 cents worth. And we love it. That's what we call the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, universe. So that's why we love having all you here. The weather is getting hot here. Lots of stuff. So
yep.
Not too much geocaching this week. Wife Amy's still, appendicitis. What a pain.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm just saying. But she's a trooper. She's really doing well. She's starting to work, get her full-time job working and starting to work a little bit on the part-time stuff. And I have to admit, I saw you because we both work at a particular hardware store until I get my IT job. And I saw her when she just got off a 4-hour shift working. And she looked like she got pulled through a knothole. So I'm nothing personal here. You always look great, but you look like you were beat.
Yeah, I was beat. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But this weekend, hopefully it'll be better.
Yes. So that's why we haven't been geocaching a whole lot. Just doing a lot of house stuff. The weather is getting warmer here. No, we're not going to be able to make Geo Woodstock this year. This would have been my 4th Geo Woodstock that I've gone to, and I usually hit every 2 years, and we just can't make it this year.
Yep.
So unfortunately we can't.
Is.
We miss everybody. We wish we were there. Hopefully we can go next year and just break it up and do an even year.
Yeah.
But
hopefully we can make going caching this year.
Yeah, well, hopefully we
see.
can make at least a Midwest bash and going caching, but that's all depends on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyways, so how can you watch the show live or generally get in touch with us? Because we're special. Just ask. My mom, usually she'll sit there and say, Andy, yeah, he's special. You can watch the live feed and join us in the chat room by going to www.geosnippets.com on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock if you want to catch our pre-show. We also have our social media links, including for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel via the geosnippets.com website. There's all of them. There's, Google Plus, YouTube, Tweeters, all the stuff that's out there. Make sure that you definitely get subscribed to us on our YouTube channel, because every time we do a podcast and when we eventually do start doing video casts again, they are going to go right into your subscribe bucket. So get that in place. Go ahead and subscribe. And it's just literally a button click. It's that quick. Check those out. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your questions, your comments, or suggestions by calling 919-341-9519, or you don't even have to worry about that. Just go on over to our send voicemail tab. It's on the right-hand side of the screen, and you get to use our SpeakPipe app, which will work with mobile phones, tablets, laptops, a computer with a microphone, and you get up to 3 minutes to say anything you want. Tell us about your geocaching milestones, trips that you're going on or on, questions about things that we talked about in past shows, show suggestions that you'd like to hear us do, all that kind of fun stuff. And you get up to 3 minutes. And the really cool thing is it's free. And that helps, especially for the folks that don't want to spend the money doing phone calls overseas. You can just zip right onto the website and do it from there. So, yeah, that's really cool. It's good. And it's stuff that you can do to communicate with us, because we love hearing from you. And we do appreciate it when you do call in. So, wife Amy, if you would.
Yes.
We've got some viewer feedback.
From Joe Burner.
Okay.
He wants to know, have you ever stumbled across a cache in the wild while not caching? Nope.
You never have?
Nope.
Well, you only do it with me, and I think we've hit it once. I've had it happen to me a bunch of times. I've had it when I wasn't necessarily, it's usually when I'm caching, when I'm going to. You don't like getting off the trail too much.
No, because I am not all about getting lost in the woods and having to. No, sir.
I grew up doing that, so that's where a lot of it is. What I have had is where I'm not necessarily caching to find a cache, but I'm out going to place a cache.
See, it's your turn.
Yeah, there you go. I need more coffee. When you actually go to place a cache, and you go, wow, that's it. That's the spot I want. This is where I want to put it. And then you find that a geocache is already there, or a letterbox is there, because it's not showing up on the map. And it's like, what's up? A true letterbox is sitting right there, and go from there, because letterbox has their own account and web page and all the rest of that. Geocaching letterbox hybrids is what they call it, are on geocaching.com. So just to let you know. Interesting stuff. And I'm going to take another swig of coffee here. So, yes, I have had that, but you don't go stomping in the woods just to stomp.
No, not really. I mean, I like to keep track of the trail and
stay on it
and know where I'm at. I don't travel too far from it, but every once in a while I'll get to looking around and lose track of where I am. But
that's more like in a cemetery.
Oh, yeah, I definitely do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
interesting
not
stuff.
often in the woods, because I'm like, I'm not trying to get lost out here.
Yep. That's cool. All right, let's move on to our GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast caching poll of the week. And this is an interesting one. I'm going to bring this up for wife Amy, and we will let her bring this in with that. And let's see, right about there.
What average percentage a week do you spend thinking, doing, participating with geocaching and geocaching activities?
So how much in your life in a week is done up for geocaching?
At 3%, 76 to 100%.
Okay.
Wow.
That is those are people. That's like Lisa or Aaron or
Beverly or
somebody.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tied at 13% is 51 to 75%, and 26 to 50%.
That's where we fall in. Mainly, or I would say most of the podcasters will fall into that. If we were in the groove that we normally should be for geocaching,
It would be higher.
It would be higher.
Yeah.
But
we'd probably be in the 50% range.
Yeah, I would say. But I think those are usually your podcasters or geocachers that are retired, where they can go off and do stuff like that.
Like Tater Tot.
God bless them, and let them go and just have fun.
Yep.
At
30% is less than 10%.
Okay, so that's the other end of the pendulum.
And at 40% is 10 to 25%.
All right, and that's the most that I have. That's a spread.
Yeah.
That is a spread.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so how much of a percentage that is, you can go through and check out our weekly, that's why we call it Geocaching Poll of the Week, the weekly poll by simply going to geosnippits.com. On the right-hand side of the screen, it shows where you can hook up to actually get the poll that we have. The new one just went out today.
I voted.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. It's going to be a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it'll tell you how to either get on Google Plus. We also put it out on, if you have us in your circles for Google Plus, if you have us liked for Facebook, and if you're in our Twitter group, it goes out all at the same time. We try to spread it out as much as possible to get as many people to vote in it as we can. And you guys do a fantastic job each and every week. It's really insightful, all the different things that we learn.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes they're expected, sometimes not so much, but it's all part of the fun. All right. Excellent stuff. Let's move on. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by gxproxy.com and gxproxy.eu from Europe for cachers. Well, do I have bad coffee breath now?
No.
For cachers serious about leaving their mark. And I want to do a special note. I want to do a shout out already. If you haven't noticed, the gxproxy.com website has been down for quite a bit. The reason why it's down is because, quite frankly, it moved. Beverly moved from somewhere in the great state of Texas to Pennsylvania. And they literally are in the process of having their warehouse finished. And they will be able to start doing stuff in the not too distant future. So just to let you know, everything should be coming back up in the not too distant future, and GX Proxy will be back in styling like they normally do. So just to let you know, they're coming on the way. And Beverly has already sent me a message saying she's got a goodie package coming our way.
Yep. So more prizes.
More prizes for you fine folks. So they'll be coming. All right. Wife Amy.
Okay. And coinsandpins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. Go through our GeoSnippits links and use the promo code HeadHardHat for a 10% discount. And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletter to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale. We're also very thankful to all of our sponsors, and if you want to see more of their products, please be sure to go to our GeoSnippits websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Absolutely. Moving on. Yeehaw! Yep. Understanding that is the wrong thing. Geocaching basics, geocache sizes, GeoSnippets Reboot Podcast, episode 202. I'm going to fix this right here.
He did not. That is so funny.
I thought I changed it.
He didn't change the title of the show from last week.
So that's why it did that. So anyway,
You're understanding? No, that's not right.
I usually know what I'm talking about when I'm going to talk.
It's me the surprise.
Right. So we were both surprised there. Very cool. Tonight is a show and tell night. And before we do that, I got a couple of thank yous that I got to get out, because we had a couple of our GeoSnippet Reboot Podcast universe.
Meeting.
Yes, I missed the Yes, I missed the meeting.
Yay!
Two folks sent us some Pancake love, and we really love it. We want to
first.
You want me to do that one first? Okay, the first one is this really cool path tag. And I know you can't really see a lot of it, but it's beautiful. Very, very dark red and little Simon Whiplash kind of character on it. It's really nicely done. Very, very good. And this comes from the Northern Nevada Geocaching Supply, which is Bruce Cousins, who's the owner and operator in that. He's going to actually...
assuming they're saying that right.
Right, and I hope I said that right, Bruce. So basically, they are... let's see. It doesn't say the city. I'll be darned.
No.
All right.
Somewhere in Northern Nevada.
Northern Nevada. So anyways, they've got the on their card, they have a set of GPS coordinates, which is, easier for people to find anyway. So I think that's brilliant. But anyways, Bruce sent a really cool path tag, and he said that down the road that they want to start giving prizes away too. So they are more than welcome to that. And thank you, Bruce, for not only did he send one, they're learning, they sent 2 path tags because somebody else likes shinies almost as much as I do. Just saying. We also want to, of course, add to Cloak and Dagger and thank him for these beautiful. He sent 2 each. I love it when they do that because it saves the bickering, fighting, and arm wrestling sessions to see who wins. Just saying. But he sent us these 2 beautiful path tags as well. And we want to say thank you to Adam for that. It is greatly appreciated. And they will be proudly placed in the collection with all the other ones that we have. And thank you so much for that. But yeah, we love getting shinies, just saying.
And I like the ocean too. I always watch like the marine animal shows and stuff. So, and I have that shirt with the turtle on it. So the turtle was just so fitting.
Yes, beautiful. Nicely done. All right, good stuff. Let's move on now to geocaching sizes. This is show and tell. So like I said, if you are listening to the podcast, we are going to visually or we're going to try to describe everything we're talking about as much as possible so you get a visualization of everything that we have going on. For the people, if you really want to see all the goodies, especially if you're new, if you really want to see what these things look like, go to YouTube, pull out GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast episode 202 and actually watch the episode. You'll be able to actually physically see all the pieces. I know these are basics, but because we are kind of a tutorial type show, I like going back old school every once in a while just to either refresh for people that are already into geocaching and to help out people that are new to geocaching. Because especially for the newbies, they don't have the point of reference yet. You may say a bison tube or a nano or whatever. They may never have seen it before, let alone how you can hide them.
Especially those 35mm film tubes.
Yeah.
You got these teenagers that are caching, or these little kids.
They don't even know what those
have
are.
A clue what that is.
Right.
Much less that you used to have to develop film.
This is a whole different story. So this is a show and tell to show all the different things. And it actually came out of a suggestion or a request from one of the viewers that literally said this: please show some examples of micro, small, regular, and large containers. Also, I'd like tips of finding small or micro geocachers. I'm a newbie. And I thought, what a great way, since we are kind of tutorial, that we could just kind of jump right into this. So that's what we're going to be talking and showing tonight. And some of this is going to be some flash backs for you if you haven't found them in a while, or it's going to be, oh yeah, I remember those stories. So just kind of keep that in mind with that. Geocaches vary greatly in size and appearance. In the field, you'll find everything from large clear plastic containers to film containers to a fake rock with a secret compartment. So how do you find the cache? And it's an excellent step. The first step is to get a general idea of the cache's size. The size is shown on each cache page. A general overview of the cache size graphic is found. We're going to have this below here in our show notes, but we'll tell you about it. Please note that these are just some examples. Sizes can vary, and we'll get more into that down the road. But basically, somebody's small may not be what the same thing as somebody small in a different region of the state or country.
Yes, but that's why you have to go by your
That's
descriptions
right.
with
And that's
your guidelines
exactly
and
what
stuff.
we're going to do. So let's go over micro. Now, if you look at your guide, there are 5 fields that dictate, they're like 5 bars. And the first bar that's highlighted, that's the micro, the smallest one. Some of this is in, for our European friends and milliliters. I actually converted today to ounces so people can kind of get a little better reference to what they are. But this is how this works. A micro is less than 100 milliliters. If you want to get that, sorry, I didn't turn off my phone. I feel terrible.
He can't talk to you right now.
No, please call back.
Yes.
See, people get so excited that they want to learn things that they just call right up and say, Andy, could you get this?
I'm going to turn your phone off.
Okay. So micros are less than 100 milliliters, which in imperial is about 36 ounces. Examples, a 35 millimeter canister, and I'm going to show you those right here. These are 2 examples of the old style, yes, boys and girls, cameras used to have film that you had to put in your camera before you took your shot, and you only usually had 24 chances to get the photo you wanted. The came in 35 millimeters, come in 2 sizes, or 2 ways actually. One was the black container with the gray cap. Those are the standard, used the most. They do not have an O-ring, so they are not what I would call perfect watertight. The other one that is a little bit heavier duty are the white ones. This came with a cap that has a O-ring type seal to it. It holds the water out much better than the others. And I call these the more premier 35 millimeters. But as you can see, they're only teeny tiny. They've got a cap, and you got
just big enough for
just
a log.
big enough for a logbook. And that is exactly what they talk about here. 35 millimeter containers are a tiny storage box, typically containing only a logbook or a log sheet. Nano cache is a common subtype of micro cache that is less than 10 milliliters and can only hold a small log sheet. Now, just to show you how small a nano is in comparison, here's the 35 millimeter. This, what you're looking at here, I've got a package that the nano comes in. Here. And the little black,
the little nano right
the
there.
little black dot is the nano,
Yes.
or a little green dot that we have on there, compared to a small 35 millimeter container.
The 35 millimeters is as big as the nano's package.
Yes. The nano itself is about the size of your pinky fingernail.
Here.
And it comes with, there you go. So you can kind of see, teeny, teeny, tiny. And they are magnetic. And it comes with a lid, an O-ring, and the base. And it holds a very, very small logbook, which I don't think you can even see here.
That is what the logbook rollers
Yes,
are for.
This is a nightmare for rolling up because they got to get tight and they got to get small.
And you'll do it 2 or 3 times
before you get it. If you get the nano logbook roller, it makes it a lot quicker when it comes to this. Now, there are different things. There's known common geocaches of micro size, and again, the size of a film can. Let's show you a couple of the other things that they have in here. One of the ones that's in here is a matchstick holder. You can get them at your sporting goods or department stores in sporting goods section, and they're literally made for holding wooden matches. So they're about yay big. They're probably about, I don't know, 2.5 inches with about 1.5 inches diameter. Same thing.
That's not 1.5 inches.
Has a lid for a guy. It is it comes with a lid, an O-ring,
Ding, 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 ding.
and the base. Again, only big enough for. Should I do it? Okay. Well, what the heck? Let's see. There we go. There is just enough room for a logbook. That is it. But they are watertight if you do it right. Very, very nice. Some of the other things that they have in here. Bison tubes.
Yes.
This is the world
And
pill bottles. Now, they both work almost identical. Wife Amy's got the short reach, so it looks smaller.
it is smaller.
A bison tube usually comes with a key ring. Again, it has a top to it, a O-ring, and then the base screws off. And here's the logbook. Now, let me give you a tip about nanos, pill bottles,
Somebody got my logbook.
and bison tubes. Roll up the logbook first.
Stick it in the lid.
And stick it in the lid first.
That was the greatest hint ever.
Don't cram it into the base and then try to slam the top on. It doesn't work. Put it in the top first, then put it into the bison tube, and it goes that way. And then tighten it down. That is the best news that you can do for a nano or bison tube or pill bottle.
These are great for ibuprofen though.
Yes, that's actually what they're made for, is to be, they were made for, yes, here's a camoed version of a pill bottle.
And it actually has official geocache on it.
Yeah, you can get them online. GX Proxy has them, Cache Advance has them.
Yes.
Pill bottles were actually made for pills. Now there's a whole section. There's a whole section about how the bison tube was created. The bison tube was originally made for the medical community to work with powders.
Oh, I can see
that. They were watertight. They were used for powder medicine, and they came in these great little containers. And the company that makes them, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, it's in my logs, then started having geocachers say, this is a really cool container. How can we get more? And now they sell them at conventions and events and all the rest of it. So yeah, we have a whole thing about how bison tubes. Just check out HeadHardHat and bison tube. You'll find the blog post that I have with all the details of how the bison tube was created. Very, very cool. Another thing that can be considered as a micro. Here's an example of from Cache Advance, the famous electrical plate. And all it is, I can't show you the back because it's in the package, but basically all it is a metal plate with a magnet with a little area to put the logbook in the back. That is considered a micro, just the logbook. So if people say, well, what's the main characteristic of micros? Only can carry a logbook. All right, so show and tell on micros. Lots of things to pick up with. You can get in the whole debate of why don't they make a thing for nanos, because they're smaller than micros and they fell left out. So why don't they have their own representative in the geocaching world? Bring it up with geocaching.com. This has been going on for about
15 years.
17 years? 15 out of the 17 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that's how that works. All right. Created caches that are also micro bottle caps. I've seen those. Pop bottle preforms. I don't have one here, surprisingly.
I'm shocked.
I
am
am
too.
Stuff
you got here.
I cleaned out some of the areas to find examples.
Oh, don't worry, it's going back.
Pop bottle preforms are about yay long.
Yeah.
And basically, what it is before it turns into a 64-ounce 2-liter bottle. It comes in this little plastic form. The cap is your normal size cap, and then the preform is just below it, and they heat it and blow air into it, and suddenly you got a full-size bottle. That's how it works. But before you do that, you get them just as preforms, and you unscrew the cap. I mean, how waterproof can it be for a water bottle? You unscrew the cap, and you got plenty of room to put a logbook. And I just... If you watch the video, I'm just saying. So yeah,
you're on a roll tonight. You need to stop it.
It just fits a logbook and away you go. I didn't even realize till I did. It's like, all right, ding the bell. Let's see.
Wow, stop it.
If you ever did a bison, a bison tube rebar.
Where do you get them?
Okay, you buy the rebar in any hardware store.
The preform.
Oh, online. You can find them online. Just look, literally soda pop bottle preform, and you'll find them. You can buy them at the gross and go that way. I think
A gross is a lot.
Yeah, you can get them from different geocaching websites that are out there, the stores and that. Some of them sell the preforms because they buy the gross and then sell them individually and go that way. So you can get that. Bison tube rebar is really cool. You can go to any hardware store and get a small, I don't know, maybe 3/8 or 5/16 rebar that's about 3 or 4 inches long. And you cut that off, you drill a hole into the rebar, and then you attach a bison tube in it. And if you've seen any concrete, when you go into a parking lot and you have that concrete stopper, that curb that keeps you from going where you shouldn't, they have 2 rebarbs, one on each side, that holds them down.
If you go into one of those big hardware stores, ask where their rebar is.
Right.
You'll find it.
Yes. Thank you for telling that.
They will take you straight to it.
Yes, and I can show you in Lowe's exactly where it is. So anyways,
yeah, me too.
What happens is it's hiding a geocache in plain sight. So you've got the rebar, you've got the bison tube hooked to it. Some of those rebars fall out every once in a while, and there's nothing there. Just plop the bison tube and the fake rebarb on top, and it'll land if you cut it just right. It'll meet the same size as the one that's on the other side of the concrete block. People walk over them all day, wouldn't even think about it. So when you go and you go, wait a minute, and you lift up the rebar, and there's where the bison tube is. That's how that works. So creative stuff that you can do with that. Bolt geocaches, we've given 1 million of those away. I remember when those first came out, the only way that people knew that they were real or not is when they moved.
Start grabbing
stuff.
Bolts.
Yes. Another one is fake rocks. Tons of them that you can do. It's as simple. Miss GeoNest won as a prize at an event one time. This fairly decent rock that somebody just found somewhere, so there's no cost. Drilled a hole in it and put a cork, just big enough for the logbook, and you got an instant geocache. Again, cool micro.
There was a fake rock at my register one day.
Was there? Yeah, you can actually get a lot of the stuff that's been going on in geocaching for years.
I almost asked if I could have it.
Because when you go to a store like Lowe's or any of the other hardware stores that are in there, if you go by the hardware section, they've got the magnetic key box holders. They've got the fake rocks. They've got the fake poo. There's the water
chewing
sprinkler.
Gum?
The water sprinkler. I haven't seen the chewing gum, but I've seen the water sprinkler. Chewing gum is another one that Cache Advance sells that you can use. There's tons of micros out there.
And you can make your own.
And make your own. Don't use
real
real chewing gum.
Rock. Yeah, please don't use.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's gross.
But you
make your own fake rock.
Yep.
With like styrofoam or something.
Yep. All right. The next size up, if you look on the geocaching page of the 5 bars, it's bar number 2, a little bit bigger, is smalls. Now, smalls are 100 milliliter or larger, but less than 1 full liter, which is about 36 ounces. Example is, and I just happen to have right out of the notes here, a sandwich plastic container or similar. And you can get this at any department store. Here's the ultimate Wonder Bread colored sandwich container that you can have here. This is what they consider a small. Small containers are basically big enough for a geocaching log. It can hold a geocoin or small trinkets. That's basically what a small is. So this is your standard sandwich size container. This would actually be called, this is not a good one. I wouldn't recommend this particular guy, but just for size, you can see this has got clamped down top. The only thing it doesn't have in this particular case, which I found out in my water test, is it doesn't have a good O-ring. In fact,
this would be good inside something else.
Yeah, this would be good inside something else that it would stay dry.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a container. Again, it claps shut and works very nicely. So that is a consideration for a small container.
So I think an Altoids can would be good too.
Oh. All right. If you are into rusty razor blades of death, what kind? Altoid cans
Altoid cans
are your friend. If you like rusty razor blades, they are wonderful. Please use them all the time because geocachers love them so much. Do not repeat with emphasis and love. Do not use Altoid cans
or any other can.
mint tin for geocaches. There is an exception, a rare one. If you happen to be living in Death Valley, then you can use them. Of course, now they're searing hot and will melt your face off when you pick it up, but there's no rain and they work okay that way. Unless you get less than 1/5 of an inch of rain per year, don't use them. I can't be more serious. And thank you for ever brought up the Altoid cans.
Oh my gosh.
It struck a nerve.
I couldn't help it.
Oh.
They mentioned it and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. So anyway, smalls are wonderful here. I'm sorry. I got to calm down for a minute. Here is a soup container. They hold soup. They're made for holding soup. And the lid screws off here. It's got a great seal. They are wonderful. This one's made by Rubbermaid and makes a fantastic small. Again, small logbook can hold a geocoin or small trinkets. That's the definition of a small.
Tetanus cache. That's funny.
Yeah. There is, again, the decon containers. Decon containers, I have one someplace. I just didn't remember to bring it. Decon containers are about this size, maybe a little taller, and about half the width of this. And so it's like, I don't know, 3-4 inches tall by 3 inches wide and about 2 inches in depth. And the lid comes off the top. And a lot of times at events, decon containers are given away as gifts, as geocaches. I don't even want to hear it. So she's just loving whatever the heck she's thinking, and it's scaring the poop out of me. So they are decon containers, again, have an O-ring, and they're great when it comes to for small geocaches. They're wonderful for that. Creative geocaches of small size. You can have a container built into a log that has just enough.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those before.
That would be a small. A birdhouse can be a small. Then again, it could be a micro as well, depending on the size of the birdhouse and the size of the container. Again, the main thing that you distinguish is if you can fit an actual regular size 2 or 3 inch geocoin in it, it's a small. If it doesn't fit, it's a micro. Keep that in mind. Some of my favorites are like Spider and other rubber toys that have smalls hooked onto them. A fence pole cap.
Oh, I've done those before.
Can be a small. I've actually got a large small fence post cap because I hit a flare tube that's about 5 inches long, fits inside the fence post cap perfectly, and then you can fit the whole thing into the fence.
Oh, yeah.
And go that way. So you can get pretty creative with some of these.
Mm-hmm.
And again, flare tubes would be a good example for something like that. Lots and lots of stuff that they have for smalls. The other one that I have over here is there's 2 types of companies, and I'm sure there's more. The Decon is showing up here. Thank you, Searchline. send a graphic of what a decon looks like.
Mhm.
There are two types of well-made containers that geocachers prefer after Tupperware. Of course, Tupperware isn't as popular as it used to be. The ones that really took over was these guys. This is a lock and lock box. A lock and lock box has 4 huge snaps on one on each side. It's got an O-ring in the top of it, and this sucker was made for keeping liquids in or out. That's the one that's popular, but even lock and locks are starting to become less popular than they used to be.
Well, in the wintertime, they freeze and get brittle, so if you
hit it with a hiking pole or something on it,
they're going to crack.
Anytime
and then you're done.
Yes, and that's a really good point. Anytime you deal with any kind of plastic out in the wild, they can warp, they can melt.
Yeah.
If you're out in an area that has a lot of sun and you cover this with a lot of rocks, the rocks heat up and this melts.
Yeah.
So
and two, that little ring inside of it,
right,
over time can warp and decompose and what have you, and
yeah, absolutely.
And it's not waterproofing.
Yeah, excellent point. So you've got lock and locks. Our friends down in New Zealand have a company called Systema that also makes, it's not 4 snap usually, it's usually 2 snap, one on each side. And it's got the O-ring that's built in. That's the key, is the O-ring.
Yeah.
Is what helps keep things
going. But,
going.
some of our viewers have actually seen these fail.
Oh, absolutely. They're not perfect.
So nothing's perfect.
No, one of the things that you really want to keep in mind when it comes to geocaches, it doesn't matter if it's a nano, a 35 millimeter, a large lock and lock, an ammo box.
Yeah. That's called maintenance.
Well, not just, maintenance for keeping up on it, but you have to understand humans are touching this. All right. And the fact is, many humans don't care. And geocachers go out I would love to be in the world where every geocacher cared for everything about every aspect of the game. It just doesn't happen. So the 35 millimeters, they're sitting there talking to their cohorts. They're squishing the container because it's a nervous habit and they don't realize what they're doing. So the seal on that gets bent. They take something like this with the lock and lock box that has 4 perfect snaps that if you put on the cap correctly, everything snaps down the way it's supposed to, and it is watertight. They don't try
to do that.
They get 3 of the 4. It's kind of cockeyed when they put it in, but they don't take the time to put it on completely correctly.
The 1 second it takes.
Think about how many times you've been basically baptized by a soft drink when somebody puts the lid on the soft drink and hands it to you, and you go to take it. What happens? Splash. Same thing with this. If you don't put the lid on, it's going to get water in there. Now, some of the things that you have to realize with a lot of the containers that geocachers use, your biggest thing, of course, is waterproof and waterproofiness, as I like to put it. Condensation can happen, especially in situations where you have a lot of temperature changes from hot to cold. Just a little bit of moisture inside a container, if the sun heats it up, will actually turn into water droplets and start getting things wet. So it's so important that you do maintenance on your containers, that you make sure that the seals are as good as possible. You can buy O-rings for bison tubes or what have you. You can get them to replace those, and it's needed, because a lot of times O-rings lose their moisture value when it comes to the O-ring itself, and it gets brittle and it breaks. So those are the ones that you really want to be careful for stuff like that. I actually needed this part. So that's that part. Those are the smalls, and like I said, tons of stuff that has a million choices that you can use for geocaching. Now for the third bar out of the 5 that you can see when you look at sizes is regulars. Regulars can start at 1 liter or 36 ounces or larger. but less than 20 liters, which is about, okay, to try to mentally
Really,
figure this out.
704 ounces.
704 ounces. Example would be a plastic container or ammo can about the size of a shoebox. And things that can, like Dave DeBear used to say, things that can contain your entire lunch. So, for example, we have...
Well, that depends on your lunch, because he may eat a big lunch. And
He's Canadian.
I don't eat a big lunch.
All right. This is a plastic. This is a plastic ammo box. Like you said, shoebox size if you have one big shoe.
Oh, that's thick plastic.
Yeah, it's thick plastic. It has an O-ring. They open up. This has a bunch of... It's got a bunch of stuff in it. But it opens up and... you know, this is what they call a small ammo can. Now, people on the ocean love these. And the reason why they love them is because if you put an actual metal ammo can next to or on an island in the ocean, the salt water will eat them. So you use plastic instead, they don't get et. But this is what they would call a small regular ammo box. So you have that size. We also have, and I've got examples
everywhere.
All right. This is a medium-sized ammo box. Now, the difference between this and the large is you only have one class that you have to open to get to it. It's definitely wider. And
it's metal.
These are the ones. I haven't seen plastic ones. I'm sure they make them, but I haven't seen the plastic ones. This one is metal, and I've already camoed it with colors, got rid of the markings. And that's one of the things you really want to do with ammo boxes, get rid of the markings. Some people say, well, it's good for nostalgia. A lot of people really just don't want to see the military aspect of it. So this is actually...
if you're trying to make it blend in with the...
Right.
All that stuff.
You don't want yellow markings all over it.
No, you don't. Unless you're going to put a sticker on it that says geocache. And
exactly. Then what this is missing. I've got a stencil that I put on it that I spray a blue word geocache on the side of it before I put it out.
Yeah.
But they're very nice. They're heavy duty and they're almost completely watertight. And again,
nothing's perfect.
The problem is people like to steal them.
That's no good. That's not nice.
So here,
they'll steal your stuff.
People, for some reason, certain parts of the country, people steal
ammo
cans, and it's sad, but unfortunately, it's true. Yep. And so that's why a lot of people stop putting them out because people will steal them. Here's what I would consider a regular sized lock and lock box. Beautiful 4 latches on the side, huge O-ring around it, big enough to put a small cake in it. So this is what I would consider for...
What's with you and Dave and the food?
Well, you like food?
You're with cake and he's with lunch.
I don't know. Maybe I'm hungry. I had Chinese for dinner. Now I'm hungry. So here we go. So that's what I would call a regular sized lock and lock box.
Mm-hmm.
And compare that to, this size lock and lock box, I could get away with a regular too, but look at the difference. I mean, it's not that much. One's deeper than the other.
Yeah.
I mean, this I would definitely call a regular. This one you can get away calling a regular. It's a judgment call because I think it's bigger than a small.
Yeah.
So
that's deeper and wider than that, though.
Yeah. So I if I was going for a regular and found this, I would say that's accurate. Definitely this guy, because he's that's like 5 or 6 inches by 5 or 6 inches.
That's a good spaghetti leftover.
There is a good spaghetti leftover. No, you can't have it. I'm just saying. All right. So that's the regulars that are on there. Creative ones that are regular size are camera geocaches that are big enough to snap a picture of you as you're opening up the lid. Monkey caches, fake stump geocaches, and cryptic containers can all be of regular size. All right, and the 4th out of the 5th is larges. Real quick to go through, because there's not a whole lot of differences. What you'll know a large when you see it is 20 liters or larger. Example is a large bucket. Let's see.
Dave.
Yeah, David, is anything you can put in big enough to hide your lunch? This isn't
anything larger than your lunch.
Yes. So here is a cooler.
Yes.
Not
it is.
good for a geocache, but it does give you the idea of a size of what a large should be. Good size, big, 5-gallon bucket size. This or bigger is what is known as a large. The containers we just showed before that are not large. Some people have problems with that.
Yeah, pickle buckets, pickle jars. Yeah, you're talking.
Right.
The big 5-gallon.
The big 5-gallon pickle buckets. Toy chests of whatever size that they use on that. Creative geocaches of large size, storage containers. I've seen small buildings. I've seen sheds. Wooden ammo can outside the geocaching store.
Volkswagen.
That was a large when we went to Cape Canaveral, owned by Dave and Barbara. Unfortunately, it's not there anymore. Who are, let's see. Yep. So that's how that's going. So you can get all sorts of larges that are on there that are huge. And there's no limit to how big. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've seen buildings. All right, and the last one, the fifth out of the fifth, actually has a question mark in the last category for sizes, and that's called other. And basically what that means is if you don't want to tell what the size is, you can use other. Now, the reason behind this is geocachers have a preconception of what they're thinking of. So if I say micro, I instantly think of the stuff that we showed as micros, bison tubes, 35 millimeters, whatever. If I'm hiding a micro, but you might want to think of it as a small or a regular or large because you don't know. If you don't know the size, it makes you search harder for it because you don't have any preconceptions of what you're looking for.
Right.
All right. So that's what others are for. They're typically containers that just can be anything. Now, one of the examples that they have on there is, that's good. I'm not quite sure why they did that. Can we fix this? Hang on one second, folks. My notes just did a double hangover flingy too. There we go. Yeah, it's hard to zoom, and it zoomed in on us automatically, and I don't know what finger control does that. There we go. So anyways, others can be just about anything. If it doesn't fit under any of the categories, I'll show you one of the examples I've got of an other. All right. There it is. Now, this is a geocache I made years ago. Haven't put it out. It's PVC pipe. It's basically a small compact ball valve for PVC. It's just a way of, if you've got water or liquids running through, it turns on and off the flow. And connected to it are two elbow joints. So it just basically makes this little U shape or upside down U shape, depending on how it goes.
An N.
And you can set it down on the ground. You could mount it onto something and go that way. Now, if you hear, you can shake it all you want. Kind of feels like a monkey cache. You can shake it all you want. Nothing's there. If you turn the valve, and I'll do it this way, and out comes a pill container. This would be a good one to put in as another. So it's a container within a host that people have no idea what size it is. They got to figure out that this is part of the geocache and then go from there. So it's just a cool way of doing stuff like that. And then you put it in, turn the valve, and it's there for the next geocacher. So just an example of what you would use for another. And like I said, this is just hitting the tip of the iceberg of all the different things that you can have for sizes. There is arguments about geocaches when it comes to listing the correct size of the container, especially when you put it in a host. If you put a 35 millimeter in a 5-inch by 5-inch birdhouse, should it be called?
I'm sorry. I was reading how to fix your Zoom issue.
Oh, okay, cool. If you have a 35 millimeter and you put it in a birdhouse that's 5 inches by 5 inches,
that's a micro.
It's a micro. Why? It's the container itself that you're finding. It may be in a host that's bigger, but it's the container size. It's usually a good rule of thumb to use for stuff like that. It's debatable. People have gone both ways with it. In the end, it's up to the discretion of the hider to make this decision. Hopefully the stuff that we talked about gives you a wise idea of what you want to call a correct size. Again, depending on you could be different counties, different states, different parts of the world. Certain click areas of geocachers that are in that area have their way of saying, well, that's a small or that's a regular. So keep in mind, it can vary depending on where you're geocaching. Is huge for that. All right, good stuff. All right, good things. Hope you enjoyed that part. A lot of information for cache sizes, but you can see there's a lot of choices as well. Choose well when you put them out. And the main thing is get those geocaches out for others to find. All right, good things. Let's move on.
Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits Reboot shows running along. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts in your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippits, we thank you.
Absolutely. And if you please consider that it costs money to do these podcasts, and every little bit helps, whether we're able to do the podcast or not. We have monthly bills, we have yearly bills, and they all add up. And it's all for every age, from the websites to hosting to doing the stuff like we're doing right now with you fine folks. It all costs money. And we rely heavily on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast universe for contributors to throw a couple of bucks a month. If you can throw $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever you can do, we greatly appreciate it. Every penny counts, and it literally helps keep the show going. We can't do it without you. So thank you for all the people that do it. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. The best thing you can do is tell others about the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Word of mouth is our friend. It's the way that other people that may be new to geocaching find out about it, or other geocachers that haven't heard of us. So please spread the word, and we appreciate it. Each and every one, to all of you. So that's how that works. Thank you so much. All right, moving on. Hi. Now it's time for the GeoSnippits Cache Dash. Wife Amy was so kind to point that out as I was trying to put in the numbers that I didn't get to do in the pre-show. And that just means I do it now as opposed to then, so that I can get the answers from you fine folks. All right, excellent stuff. So what we do is we have companies from all across the world, and from geocaching world, I should say, now that I'm stumbling, from geocaching stores all around the planet. Anyways, they want to tell you fine folks about the products that they provide. So they send us these little geocaching packages of love, and we take them and Google them, and then Google. We like looking at them. And then we go through. It's late and my coffee is worn off.
Yes,
so
it's past my bedtime.
It's past our bedtime, and we're just going on. So anyways, we like giving prizes, and they provide them. And that's how we do the Geocaching Cache Dash. So each week we give out a question and tell what the prize is. And then you fine folks send in your answers to the questions, and the ones that are sent in correctly get put into a drawing, and then we picked the drawing, which we're going to do right now. So wife Amy is going to get her magic geocoin. I have here all the entries that were sent in to us for episode 201, which was last week. And wife Amy, what was the question for last week?
The prize was from geocaches.com. It was a UV flashlight.
Yeah, they're really cool. Really like those.
And if he wasn't doing that, he would show it to you.
I would, because I'm putting this in.
The question is, there is a geocaching event known as MOGA. Yes. What do the letters MOGA stand for?
Yes.
And the answer is Midwest Open Geocaching Adventure.
Yes.
And it is the largest geocaching competition in the world.
Yes, it is. We went to MOGA last year. They just had MOGA about 2-3 weeks ago for 2017.
And he's showing the flashlight.
Right. So here's the UV flashlight. This is from gxproxy.com. They are absolutely an essential for anybody's geocaching pack because the blue light on here works with ultraviolet ink and works great for puzzle caches and such. So awesome stuff. All right, I showed you the emails that were sent in. This is a random number generator that goes between 1 and the total number of correct answers that were sent into us this week. If the number was 4, it is not 4. What would happen is if wife Amy flips her magic coin and it was heads, we would count down 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top, and that would be our winner. If it was tails, we count from the bottom up 4, and that would be the winner. It adds a little bit of randomness to how all that goes. Wife Amy, are we going heads down or tails up?
Heads.
All right. And that was there. Is that recent? All right, we're all set. All right, the winner that goes to and gets that ultraviolet flashlight is Chuck Richards. Searchline, who is actually in the chat room tonight.
Okay.
Congratulations, Chuck. We will get that out for you. Do us a favor, Chuck. If you would send to gsreboot@gmail.com and just send in winner for episode 201 and send us your address. I'm going to try to get the prizes that have kind of built up a little bit over the past couple of weeks. I'm going to try to get those out next week to everybody that has won. So if you get us your address in time, we will get it out in that bunch and go from there. So congratulations, Chuck, for
he said woohoo.
That's good. I hope it was woohoo or woohoo.
No, it had exclamation
points. Oh, there you go. So that's good.
So that's good.
So congratulations, Chuck, for winning. Those are really cool prizes. Those are neat ways to go. All right. Excellent stuff. Good stuff. Now you might be saying, well, wait a minute. I want to win. Well, it's very simple. If you don't play, you can't win. To be eligible to win a prize from any cache stash, really, all correct answers for this week must be in by 12 noon Eastern time this Wednesday, which is May 24th. Wow, we're through May already. May 24th, 2017.
This year's flying.
Yep, get them in by Wednesday. Send the email to gsreboot@gmail.com. That's gsreboot@gmail.com. Subject line Q1, episode 202, which is tonight's episode. All there in there. Again, gsreboot@gmail.com. In the subject line Q1, episode 202. All correct answers will be put in a drawing just like we just did. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room, we have a second prize. We give it away at least once a month. We only got one more week in May. So I'm thinking next week is going to be a pretty good bet that if you're here for the live show, you will get yourself a good chance of winning a very, very cool prize. So just to let you know.
He doesn't know what it is yet.
I don't know what it's coveted. I'll tell you that.
It's in the closet somewhere. He's got to go get it.
That's the cash stash dungeon. That is huge-ish. And
it's
we
walk-in
put our
closet,
stuff in.
but still.
Anyhow, huge repository, not suppository, a repository of geocaching stuff. All right, so wife Amy, question for tonight for episode 202. Why don't we tell them the prize?
Yes, I think we should. Just like I
gorgeous.
just did. It's gxproxy.com. Then let me see.
Just a second and tell them about it.
Night Dreams Geo Night, as in KNIGHT.
Right.
Dreams, Geocoin, and Proxy,
You get 2
featuring the
coins.
Draft Horse
Hang on,
Sanctuary.
I got it right here. I got it. See, her and shiny. All right. Here you go.
Wow.
I'm just saying, it's beautiful coin. We'll actually show it to you if I can get it out of Amy's clawed fists. You also get the proxy coin that comes along with it. So you're actually getting 2 coins. You keep the good one.
Draft Horse Sanctuary.
Put this one out as a geocoin to go for as a travel bug somewhere. Isn't that pretty?
That's gorgeous.
Yes, from the Draft House Sanctuary.
Draft Horse.
Draft Horse in
Draft
Sanctuary
House is something different.
in Montana.
I want to go there.
All right, let me show the people because you're oogling. See what I meant about oogling? That is her oogling. So you can see it's a beautiful set of draft horses there. And on the back, it's 2 horses facing the other way. Beautiful coin, Chris Mackey. And again, you get the coin to keep and the coin to put out as a proxy and go that way. So this is an amazing coin. You can't get them anymore. So I'm just saying that's one of the things that's beauty with our prizes is you can't get it anymore.
Yeah, sometimes you can't.
This is it. So that's the prize for this week's show. We'll find out next week who earns it. All right, good stuff. Moving on. Hungry.
You can't be hungry.
Eat Chinese.
So?
Just saying.
You had watermelon?
Yeah, it was good too. All right, so we digress about food. Let us know what you think about tonight's episode. It was really good. I love going back to the basics, and it brings up a lot of thoughts and seeds for people to go, you know what? I could get out a nano right about now. Go and do it. Get one and place it and place a geocache. That's the main thing. Please consider becoming a patron of our show. Be a contributing factor to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast universe. And finally, tell others about our show. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Word of mouth is our friend, and we appreciate you telling our friends about us.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
We want to thank our sponsors, gxproxy.com and coinsandpins.com, plus our awesome and amazing patrons. I want to thank Eddie HeadHardHat Smith, and thanks to everyone watching and the chat room.
Please keep those comments coming in. See y'all next time. Y'all. I was waiting for you to do your part.
Did I do the question?
No, you did fine. Did you do the question?
No, I did not.
Well, they're not going to be able to answer if you don't tell them.
No. Everybody's like, did I miss the question? I'm like,
For those
who, did I even ask it?
You actually fell through a time worm hole in space. And in that time, you have now returned, and we are now going to give the question for episode 202 so people can actually win it.
Oh, my Lord.
That is one way for us to actually keep the coin, is just not put out the question.
I'm like,
nobody submitted.
Not asking.
Yeah. All right. They didn't want it.
Wow.
All right. So the question for episode 202. I want it
worse than they do. Okay. According to the gagb.co.uk website,
right.
What does the acronym FIGS stand for?
It's a doozy. According to the gagb.co.uk website, for their friends over the other side of the Great Pond.
What does the acronym FIGS stand for?
All right. Send in your answers, because now you know the question.
Now we actually asked a question for you to win a prize.
Yay!
I got so sidetracked by the shine.
That just means that we're giving it away. All right. So, yeah, we want to do a special thanks to wife Amy, who just sometimes does things but worse than I do, which is rare. But we thank her because she is the person that keeps this show a-going. I'm just saying. Yeah.
You turn it on.
Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you.
You turn it on.
I am just the bloke she goes geocaching with. I'm just thinking. Thank you, Colin. I love you too. All right. Special thanks to wife Amy.
And maybe Mark.
And maybe Mark. Yeah, he sends his love too. So anyways, thanks to all you fine folks for stopping on by and meeting up with us each and every week. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. And if you have ideas or suggestions for different shows that you would like us to talk about, just like we had for tonight's episode, please send them in to us. Send them into gsreboot.gmail.com or get a hold of us on one of our social interweaves out there, Twitter or Facebook or Google Plus, and just say, hey, could you talk about this? Because I'm curious about it. We'd be more than glad to. And we would prefer getting that from you fine folks than just kind of pulling out of a hat what we want to talk about each week. All right. Good stuff. I think it's time to move on. And again, thanks for stopping on by. We'll see you next week. Adios. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, Google Play, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Visit us through our social media sites or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519 or use our website Send Voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a HeadHardHat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. This show is copyright 2017 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. And clear. Wow. Sometimes there's disconnects and sometimes there's disconnects, but that's what happens when we're moving around everything and trying to find stuff for going and showing good examples for you so you get a good perspective of things that we're talking about. All right. Excellent stuff. We are so glad you were here, and we will see you folks next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast.
Wow, now I don't feel so bad.
Oh, I'm going to quit drinking cough syrup. I'm just saying.
You didn't have any.
Oh, well, I'm going to start drinking cough syrup. All right. Have a good one. Have a safe one. And we'll see you out on the trails, folks. Bye-bye.